Austin.
Is it?
Yes.
What? If he turns it down, it'll go away.
Leave.
I don't really want it to go away.
Leave.
Don't turn it off. It sounds so cool.
I have a question.
All right. I don't like it.
Sounds like we're in a cave.
Example 2 is still the same type of problem where we have 12x to the 12, once it gets going, 12x to the 12 minus 8x8 plus 4x to the 6th. And then we're supposed to divide that by 4x to the 4th. So we can just put that 4x to the 4th underneath each term to reduce it down. And that gives you 3x to the 8th minus 2x to the 4th plus x squared.
And then you have to set them up.
Okay. Yeah, that's easy.
You have to make it.
Wait, yes.
Absolutely.
Look at the next one.
Example 3 has this long exponential, minus 2x squared plus 3x cubed plus 5x plus 50 divided by x of negative 3 plus x. I'm going to show you the long way. No, I'm not.
I want to see the short way.
I'm going to show you the long way by looking in the book with me. If you look in the book, it sets it up. It's on around page 358. It shows the x minus 3. They rearrange that negative 3 plus x as x minus 3 to put it in the form where we have the variable first. That's what we're dividing the problem by. And then they are rearranged to put your terms in ascending order by highest degree. 3x to the third was the highest degree term because of the 3 on the exponent. And then it went to the x squared, x, and then the constant. So you're taking x minus 3 and dividing it through 3x cubed minus 2x squared plus 5x plus 50. And it's x minus 3. I can't help myself, I have to do this. So the process, and the high school teachers will show it this way. Okay? But the process to get through this starts with this. How many times does x go into 3x cubed? 3. And how many x's? If I took this x out of this, what would I have left? 3x squared. Okay. Now, I multiply this 3x squared just like I do my regular division, except I'm going to multiply the 3x squared times the minus 3. That's going to make it minus 9x squared. And the 3x squared times the x makes it 3x cubed. Because
Okay, how'd you get the 3 on top?
how many times can I divide x into 3x?
So
1. It's the 1 here, so yeah. It's like 3 divided by 1. Okay, don't write this down. Just watch it. Yes, ma'am.
How'd you get the minus 9x squared?
I took the negative 3 times the 3x squared. Now, in subtraction, or in division, at this point we subtract, don't we? But we're going to be subtracting this entire quantity, which means I need to change the sign of both terms. Okay? And then now this goes away, and it gives me 7x squared. And I'm going to bring down the next term. How many times does x go into 7x squared?
7 times.
Plus 7x. Then I do the 7x times negative 3 is a negative 21x plus 7x squared. Now I'm going to change the signs because I'm subtracting the entire quantity, so I have to distribute that negative through. No. Not that.
At least it doesn't record the, oh, yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does. It's going to have the grades on there.
It didn't have the names until you moved it.
So change that to a negative and that to a positive. Okay. Then add those two as 26x plus 50. Bring it down to the next term. X will go into 26x 26 times. 26 times a negative 3 is a negative 78. And 26 times x is 26x. Then we change the signs again, subtract, add, and it gives us a remainder of a positive 128 over the divisor, x minus 3.
Okay, what? Do we need to know this?
No.
You need to be familiar with it because in high school, that's how they show it. They don't do it the way I do it. I do it the easy way.
Why don't they?
I do the shortcut way. You need to understand that process, but I also think if you have a shortcut, then why do it? Why mess with it?
Exactly.
So our shortcut is going to be this. We still need to understand that we're dividing by x minus 3, and then we're going to use each of these coefficients. So let me start a new page, look back at our problem. Look at your x minus 3 that they divided by. You looking at that? What would make that value 0? What would be the 0 of x minus 3?
Negative x.
Negative x minus 3 would be negative 6. 3 minus 3 would give you 0, correct? So when I ask for the 0 of the divisor, that's the divisor, right? The x minus 3 is what's dividing. That's the divisor. If I ask for the 0 of that, I want what number you put in for x, it makes a 0. So the 0 for the divisor is 3. So we're going to take that 0 for the divisor, and we're going to put it in this backwards looking angle divisor type thing. Angle thing. I don't know what it's called, but it's a thing. We'll put 3 there. Backwards L. Okay. At this point then, we're going to take the coefficient from each term, and we're going to write them out. So my biggest degree term was the x cubed term. What's the coefficient with it? 3. And then a negative 2, a positive 5, and a positive 50. Does it look easier already?
Yeah, a little bit.
It should be because we don't have all the x's and
So
squares
do
and
you
stuff.
not need to worry about the x?
Yeah,
we
nope.
supposed to
We'll bring that back in. Yes, ma'am?
How are we supposed to figure out how to do that with all those X's and stuff?
Just watch. See where we go. We're going to give ourselves space because we're going to be writing numbers in here. This is called synthetic division. What's synthetic mean? Fake. It's fake division. It's faux division. But it works. It's like synthetic oil. It's not real oil necessarily, but it works for oil. Or it's partly fake. The process is this. You take your first number, just drop it down. Then you're going to multiply the 0 value times this number. 3 times 3 is 9. Then you're going to add. Negative 2 plus 9 is 7. Then you're going to multiply. Last time we took 3 times 3. This time we're going to take 3 times 7, which is 21. Now what are we going to do? We're going to add. So we have 26. Then what are we going to do? Multiply. So we went multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, and that's, what did I say, 78? And then add. 128. Do these numbers look familiar?
Yes.
Good. All right. Now to finish it off. What is our biggest degree term in our problem to begin with? X cubed. So we start our answer with 1 degree less. X squared. If you don't have a sign in front of your number, it was a positive value, so we're going to put plus signs between it. If it was a negative value, then it would be a minus. So that's plus. Then we're going to go 1 degree less. 7x plus 26, and it would be x to the 0, so we don't write that, correct? And then plus 128 is our remainder, so what do we do with our remainder?
Over x minus 3.
Over the divisor, which you have to remember is x minus 3 as a whole. X minus 3.
And that's the
I like
answer?
that way better.
You are welcome to do it the first way if you want. That's fine. But this is fine too. Yes, ma'am.
Where you have just 26 plus 128, how come you can't add those?
26 plus 128, because I wasn't done. This is the remainder over the divisor. So they're not like term, or we can't add them because unless you were to get a common denominator of x minus 3 and do all the stuff and add it together, and then that just gets nasty.
Okay.
I just hadn't finished the problem yet.
Alright.
That's why I couldn't add those together. That's a good point. Good question. So again, let's review this. This is the 0 value of your divisor. You take your first coefficient, just drop it straight down. Then you're going to multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, add, and then you put that last term over your divisor. That last value is over your divisor. That's the remainder. And where does that come from in division? Or in division. If I take 5 divided by 2, 2 goes in there, and what do I? 4 times, no, 4 times 2 times, which is 4. Good job of erasing. So 4. Then what do I do with my remainder? I put it over the divisor. That's what I'm doing here, taking the remainder on the last one over what I was dividing by, which was actually x minus 3. Yes, Ethan?
What if instead of x minus 3, it's like 5x, like multiplication?
We're at, oh,
It's in a lesson, it's like
which one?
number 7.
7? That would go back to like the sample problems 1 and 2 that we did. We just divide each term by 5x.
Oh, okay.
So you wouldn't need this process for that. You just factor out a 5x out of each term. Good question, too. Let's look at example 4. What is the 0 value for the divisor on number 4?
2.
Positive 2. Because it's negative 2 plus x. So what makes that value 0 is putting a positive 2 in. Now we need to put our coefficients in ascending order. From biggest to small, not ascending order, sorry. Descending order. That could have been bad. What's my biggest degree term? 2x cubed. So the coefficient from that is 2. Then I have my x squared term. What's the coefficient on that?
1. Negative 1. Negative 1.
Negative 1 because of the minus sign in front of it. So that's negative 1. Good, Heidi.
What? Actually get this.
Yeah.
I never get
And then the x term, the coefficient on the x term is
negative 1.
negative 1 because it's a negative in front of it. Haven't seen Heidi this excited since about the 4th week of school.
Oh, when she got everything.
And then the last term is
Plus 4.
plus 4. Then we give yourself a line and some space for your column. What's the first step, Heidi?
No, you bring it down. You bring it down.
Bring the first term down as is.
Then you multiply.
Multiply. 2 times 2 is
It's 4.
4.
Then 4 add. Equals 3.
3.
Then you multiply. 6. Then you add. Equals 5. Then you multiply. Equals 10. And then it's 14.
All right. And the 14 is going to go over.
What was that?
It was negative 2 plus x. So if we rearrange that, that's x minus 2. And you want to write it that way. X minus 2. Now put in our exponentials. What's our biggest degree term again?
X cubed.
X cubed. So our answer will be, the first one will be
X squared.
one less than the biggest one. So x squared. We don't have a sign, so that's going to be plus x plus 5 plus 14 over x minus 2.
Watch me like miss along the lesson now.
No, I will not watch you do that.
I get it too.
Example 5 has a little bit of a kink to it, but it's not much. What's the zero value? 3. What's the biggest degree term?
X cubed.
And the coefficient on that is 3. All right, what's the next one going to be?
Negative 2.
Why isn't it negative 2?
Why is it?
Oh, I don't know.
There's no X.
Say it again, Kaylee Egbert.
There's no X squared.
There's no x squared term there, is there?
Plus 0.
But we have to represent it
1.
in the order with a, somebody else said that, I heard, with 0.
Me.
Because it would be 0x squared. Gives you a value of 0. That's the only way that x squared term could equal 0 is by having a 0 coefficient. Yes, ma'am.
Do we have to represent it because it's going descending?
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. So we're putting them in descending order. That is just working swell. There. So we had our x cubed term. We don't have an x squared term, so we put a 0 for our x squared term. Then we go to our x term, which is negative 2. X term, and then we have our 5. There we go. Sorry, got ahead of myself there. 3, 2, 1, 0.
Why wouldn't you put plus 1?
You could put plus 5, I just don't. It's the same thing. It just, by not putting the plus sign in there, then it does, to me it's a little less busy looking. But you could. First step, take your first number just straight down. Then we're going to multiply. Add, 9 and 0 is 9. Multiply, 3 times 9, 27. Add is 25. 25 times 3 is 75. 80 over the divisor of x minus 3. We started with an x cubed term in our problem. We go one less than that in our answer, so that's x squared plus 9x plus 25 plus that value. Boom.
I only have 4 minutes left.
Only have 4 minutes left?
Yep.
Bummer. All right, on the 6th example, you can see you have the x cubed term, and then you have a minus 4, so we're missing a couple different terms on that one, aren't we? So starting off, our 0 value is going to be 3. It's negative 3 plus x, so x would have to be 3. My x cubed value, or coefficient, is 1. I don't have an x squared term. I don't have an x term. And then I have minus 4. And then you can quickly go 3, 3, 3, 9, 9, 27, 23 over x minus 3, x squared plus x plus 9 plus that, and you're done.
Okay, maybe
Okay.
You will. You catch it on. Yes? What?
We do number 9.
Number
It's an
9.
odd number.
Yeah, I know. It's like,
It's easy.
it's only got 2 numbers in it.
So?
In the back it's got like 4 numbers in
it's
there.
the same
It's
thing.
easy. It's the
Ethan,
same thing.
that is this problem almost exactly, because it has an x cubed term. Your coefficient is 1. Then you don't have an x squared or an x term, but then you have minus 1 instead of minus 4. Hey, Look at number 9 one more time. I'm glad he asked about this. Look at number 9, one more thing. What's the 0 value of that divisor though on number 9?
It's negative. What's this? Right.
Negative 3.
I got something.
Why do you remember that? -3.
Because it's x plus 3, so it'd have to be negative 3 plus 3.
Well, you should have really showed us the
What's
first
our
assignment.
assignment?
You should have
You
showed
got
us
our
that.
assignment?
Ignore that.
Are we doing 1 through 3?
Yes, your assignment.
We don't have something on our
Problem set 80, or sorry, what is this? 86, 1 through 30. We're going to have it due Friday.
Oh, are we working on it tomorrow?
That means you'll work on it in here tomorrow. If you're in here, you won't be in here, you'll be at the track because I'm at the track. You'll go out with whoever
I'm at the
in
track.
charge of that.
So we're gonna have homework.
This is your homework.
Track.
Hmm? Unless you get it that day or tomorrow. So usually your
I'm
time.
gonna forget my book at home, so I don't. So I'm just gonna leave my book at home tomorrow. Because I won't be in this class.
But if the meet happen to get canceled, we will have class and you need to go and work on it.
Yeah. I can use another book because I probably won't study last
You'll get a
week.
material for it.
Stop recording.
Oh, you want to stop recording?
Yeah.
Bye, recording.
Bye. Bye.